When I was about 10 years old, I borrowed a book from a friend of my mother. It was an old German novella from 1942, yellowed pages, brittle binding, telling the story of the 47 Ronin. I didn't understand everything back then, but something about it struck me like lightning. A master betrayed, loyal retainers waiting in silence. 2 years of discipline, patience and sacrifice, ending in a final act of unwavering loyalty and death by their own hands. For a 10-year-old, it was a different kind of heroism. No flashy, no loud, but something deeper. A devotion that outlived their leader and even their own lives. I remember closing the book and thinking, one day I want to stand where those men are buried. It felt impossible, like a place that only existed in old stories. And yet, here I was, decades later, walking through the quiet entrance of Sengaku-ji Temple. Tokyo all around me. But inside these walls, only silence. I had imagined it empty and forgotten, but surprisingly, there were many foreigners visiting. People buying incense, bowing at the graves, paying respects. The incense only costs 300 yen. And they give you enough to leave 2 or 3 sticks at each grave. So that's what I did, one by one, 47 times. A small ritual that took patience, and somehow made the whole story feel real. These weren't just characters in a book anymore. They were men with faces, bones, ashes, all resting here in the same earth. If you don't know the story, their lord, Asano Naganori of Ako, was provoked and humiliated by a corrupt court official named Kira. Driven beyond control, Asano struck Kira inside Edo Castle, where violence was forbidden back then, and was immediately ordered to commit seppuku. His retainers became masterless, rōnin, and were expected to fade into poverty and shame. Instead, they pretended to dissolve, waiting nearly 2 years. And then, on a winter night in 1702, they gathered again. 47 men who had nothing left except loyalty. They stormed Kira's mansion, found him hiding and delivered their vengeance. They didn't run, they didn't deny it. They turned themselves in. And every one of them was ordered to commit seppuku. The graves stand side by side here at Sengaku-ji. When I finally left the cemetery, I felt full. Not sad, not dramatic, just full of something I had carried since childhood. But the day wasn't done. As I tried to walk back to the Yamanote Line, I must have looked completely lost. An older Japanese woman stopped, asked where I was going, and to my surprise, walked the entire way with me. It wasn't close, but she stayed with me the whole time, making sure I didn't take a wrong turn. It was such a small gesture, yet somehow the perfect ending to a visit built on loyalty, patience and kindness.